What's up, everybody? It's Makaiza here on New Year's 2020. What does that mean? Well, today is December 31st, 2020 at time. The time is 9:26 a.m. and I'm making this video because a lot of people tonight are going to feel like they're missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out, man. I'm missing out. I'm not able to go out and celebrate this new year. Oh my God, I'm so glad 2020 is over. I can't believe it's been such a horrible, tragic year for everybody in the world. We're all struggling here. We're all making things happen and completing our journeys, right, of 2020. It's been a strange ride, but a ride indeed it has been. And so I got interrupted, but to continue on with what my original thought process was with this video in particular, there's so many ways that we can celebrate the incoming of something new and the dying off of something old. And that right there is an actual great point that a lot of people miss. That when we are introducing things new into our lives, we have to understand that our plate, right? Imagine it as a plate. You have a plate in front of you. Your plate's full. Your plate's full of your emotions that you have, the thoughts that you incur, the education that you've learned, the understanding of yourself that you have gained, the way that you exercise, the way that you talk to yourself, think to yourself. All of this is on a plate, right? So when new ideas are introduced to you and you have a plate that's full, some of those peas and carrots got to go, right? Some of those little noodles, they have to be taken out and thrown away in order for you to make room for the new idea, the new you. Now, that's just a really good point to bring in this, right? We're ushering in a new world, a new day. Every day is new. So when we look at the transition from one calendar year to the next, first of all, we have to go backwards and see, hold on, is this even the real calendar of the world? Is this the real calendar we should be following? How many days are really in a year? How does the sun move, or how do we move around the sun in certain years and certain ages when the sun is moving through constellations and around the galaxy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it goes on and on. So we have to have a great foundation of what calendar we're even following in the first place. Okay? Now, here's a quick question for you. When we look at the seasons of the year, summer or spring, summer, fall, and winter, and we notice the trees. I'm in Cali, okay? In Cali, the trees don't change too much. SoCal. NorCal, they have a lot more essence to them, and they actually change colors and they die off. Trees die here too, but you'll see what I mean in a second. When you notice the transitions of the trees, I may throw a little photo in here too so we can actually see it side by side. In the spring and summertime, the trees are full of flowers, green, life, energy. You can see it, you can feel it, it's all there. But then when you move over and you see the winter side, all the trees are dead. You just see branches. The bushes are teeming away. I don't even know if I should have put that word in that sentence, but you understand what I'm saying. Things start to die off in the wintertime. Bugs recede and they go down into the earth and find a warm place to be. Anything in nature that you look at during the winter cold time is receding, okay? Now, when I'm talking about the trees here, in the summer and spring times, we notice that the trees are full of life. This is when the earth is inhaling. Inhale. When you inhale, if you flip your lung upside down from the position it's in like this to this, it looks exactly like a tree. And even down like this, it looks like the roots of a tree. So when you flip it up and you see the branches of the tree in your lungs, you notice that when you inhale, those branches, they begin to light up and they get wider and wider and they grow. When you exhale, they go in and they crumble down just like the trees in the world. So check this out. Why would we be celebrating the coming of a new year while the world is in the middle of an exhale? The planet Earth is in the middle of an exhale. When you're exhaling, you're letting go. When you inhale, you're bringing in new life. So check this out. This is crazy. In the spring, the trees and the earth is inhaling, bringing in new life. Wouldn't you want to put those two things together with the new year as the inhale of the planet? Those should be lined up naturally, but they're not. This is for a reason. We've been tricked, because if you mess up the foundation of anything, you screw up anything that comes after that. Therefore, we're celebrating, first of all, a false new year. The new year doesn't really begin until about April, May of every year. That's the springtime when the planet begins to inhale once again. Sometimes early March, okay, or late March through early May. That's really when the new year is. The precise date, I don't know, but this makes common sense, doesn't it? It does. So, without getting too deep into this, first of all, we're celebrating something false, and we can notice that just by not what we've been taught by January through freaking December, but what we can experience and what we can see, right? What we can see, what we experience, and what makes common logical sense in the terms of science and life. We can see that when anything's inhaling, it's bringing in new life. When it's exhaling, it's leaving new. It's releasing. It's releasing. Okay? So put those two things together. You may come back in this video and don't think I'm ignorant to this. Okay? You may come back and say, well, when you exhale, that means you're releasing something old, and when you inhale, you're bringing something new. Well, hey, you just said exactly what I just said, which is bringing something new happens on the inhale. So wouldn't we be bringing in a new year when the world and the earth is also inhaling a new year? Yes. Yes. Now you're starting to see how all of these things, you have to get to the foundation of where in the world we actually came from, what we understood in the past, what we knew was true in the past, and how it has been manipulated into what we see today. So go celebrate your new year if you please. I'll be at home working on myself, studying, reading, researching, learning, and creating the reality that I want in my life, because that's all I do is create reality with this sun right here. Me and the sun, we're best friends. You need to become friends with the sun again. You need to become friends with the sun again. And not only become friends, fall in love with the sun. I am in love with the sun. And it didn't happen overnight. It took a couple weeks. It took up a couple of weeks of me sun gazing, staring at the sun, directly into the sun, to where I can actually see the orb that is spewing out this light. It's blue, it's green, it's yellow, it's orange, it's a freaking amazing color. It's almost like colors I can't see down here on Earth. It's interesting. But when you sun gaze and when you start to fall in love with the sun and just listen and observe and feel the sun speaks to you. It speaks to your heart. It speaks to your pineal gland. And when these two things are open wide and accepting the truth, the nature of life, you're unstoppable. Alchemy becomes easy. Meditation, manifestation becomes easy. The ability to focus becomes a lot easier. Your temperament goes way down. I mean, it's hard to make you angry. Things really, they only tick you off a little bit, and eventually that'll even go away. You start to recede into this peaceful being that you really want to be all along. So I'm going to end this video here. This has been DSL and Makaiza, the way we walk the path toward the sun together, baby. Be the best, fuck the rest. Let's go.